everyone, I'm Hannah and I'm 22 years old, so that is 22 years of singleness. But I wouldn't date when I was a baby anyway, so.
I'm Abby and I'm 21 years old.
I'm Maddie and I'm 21 years old. Okay.
This is my identity, daughter of the risen King. This is who I'm born to be. God, you are my anchoring.
So we have started a new series on YouTube called Coffee Conversations, and this week we are going to be talking about singleness, all of the great and lovely things about singleness.
Yeah. And I think that since we're talking about singleness, we should definitely share some funny date stories.
That's a great idea, Abby. Okay. Once, it was like one of my first dates in college, and I met him through my writing class, and so I thought he was going to be like so great. I thought we were going to, connect on all the levels. So he was going to take me to an art museum, and I don't go to an art museum. Like, that wasn't my idea of a great date. But it was okay. I was like, it'll be fine. So we go, and he was asking me, like, all my thoughts on, like, the art and everything, and I was trying to, like, make it sound like it was, like, speaking to me on, like, really deep levels, but I had no idea what I was talking about. It's okay. But, like, after that, we were walking around downtown Lexington, and this man literally takes off running, like, down the streets, down the sidewalks, and it's, like, winter, and I'm standing there in the cold, and I said, what? And he was like, come on! And he was, like, running up to this building that was under construction, and he was like, we can get in. And I was like, are we supposed to? And he said, I don't think so, but that's what makes it fun. And I said, I'm not going in. I'm not breaking in a building.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just stayed. I waited.
Okay, so mine's, I guess, like, my first kiss story. I mean, everybody has, like, those weird first kiss stories. Well,
Yes.
So I was in high school, and I had never kissed anyone, and there was this guy, and we had been, like, talking, and we had been, like, talking off and on for, like, a while, and we had never really gone on any, like, actual dates, but it was the day of my senior cheerleading competition, which makes this sound really high key, like one of those angsty TV shows. But
The season finale.
Yeah,
Senior year.
We almost broke the chair, guys. Senior cheer competition, and so I'm like getting ready in the gym at like our school, and so he like texts me and he's like, oh, like I'll come by and say hi and like wish you luck before I go to football practice. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, thanks, whatever. Because I was a really awkward 17-year-old apparently. And I mean, I'm a really awkward 21-year-old, so I guess it's pretty much the same. But so he walks in the building and I like meet him in like the lobby area of our gym, which so we're like standing there and we're like having a conversation. Well, then he like goes to give me like a hug, and I just okay, guys, I need you to picture this. Like he's like big football player, 6'3" dude, like, and here's little Abby, like, and so then I'm like standing there, and so he gives me this like weird, awkward like side front. It was like. But oh, not that. That was the size difference. Yeah, but you have the size difference. So I go up to like right here on him, maybe. And so he gives me a hug, and then like in the midst of this awkward, weird hug, he's like, "Can I have a kiss?" In his like deep country bumpkin voice, and I was like, "Well, I mean, I guess." But I didn't know how to kiss because it was my first kiss, and so I just like looked up, and then he looked down, and then we just. So yeah, there we go.
Great description. It's funny because
get her done.
Get her done. That is honestly what he was thinking. I just like my first kiss right now. Country bumpkin. Abby and I were talking about this the other night, and we were sharing our first kiss stories. And yes, I died laughing at the part. Never heard that. Okay. Never heard that. because I haven't actually been on a date, I don't think. But I did get asked to homecoming by this lovely man.
Please elaborate.
He was not nice to me.
Lovely.
He's like, I'm sorry I'm not supposed to laugh. I'm not supposed to look over there, but okay, so now that I compose myself, I can finish this wonderful story. So I got asked to homecoming, and the guy was not really nice to me. He told me during dinner that I talked too much. So we get to homecoming, and I dance like I will run around in circles.
I think you should demonstrate.
Maybe not. I'll do it in my chair, but I just go like this all like the time around the room.
Oh.
And I run in a circle and I do this. So he was probably like, I don't know, this crazy girl, what is she doing? I'm dancing, sir! So I go out and then I come back in and it was a slow song, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go find my man. Exactly like did not find him anywhere. And I was like, he was in the middle of the crowd dancing with another girl. So a guy that I did actually like, I went up to him.
Not your date. You didn't like your date.
Not fully, but I was giving him a chance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went up to the guy that I actually did like, who was by himself, and I went, and I said, do you want to dance with me? He said, yeah, I would love to dance with you. And so the rest is history. Now, it didn't go further than like a couple months, but it's still history. Still a win. It was good. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
a win.
Well, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that night. It was great.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Well, as funny as all of that is, there's definitely a harder side to singleness. If we're being honest, singleness sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard.
It for sure does suck.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me about singleness that really sucks is just the loneliness. Like, I think that comes up a lot. I don't know, whenever you see, like, oh, this other couple, like, just got engaged, or, like,
Again, another one.
or, like, it's Friday night and you're sitting at home eating popcorn, watching Gilmore Girls again. And you're like, oh, well, maybe if I just vicariously live through Rory, then now I have a Jess Logan Dean. But, no, yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think one of the biggest things for me, like, I just feel like I've always struggled with the idea of being enough. Not just like in romantic relationships, but specifically with that. Just like, if it's not working out, like, I just feel like there's something in me that necessarily needs to change, and I need to strive to be more to be enough for this guy.
Yeah,
and
like, what else can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's, oh, it's so gross, but it's like, I get competitive with it, and it's like, you want to, like, win his affection, and you want to win his heart, and that's not how Jesus portrays love, and because he pursues us, like, he chases after us, and I don't have to chase the guy, but I get stuck in that a lot. It's gross.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to both of you on that too. I think recently I've just been feeling like that reminder, like God put that desire in my heart, and I feel like that desire is a promise from Him. But it's hard because in our timeline of things, we're like, okay, so where's my promise? And we're like trying to rush
I'm
it.
so bad at putting, like, my timeline ahead of God's. Like, it's like, I see, like, a few months, I'm like, okay, this, and this has to happen, but God's like, hold on.
Yeah.
This is not true.
Slow it down!
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, like, with all of the things that are hard, like knowing that there's waiting, feeling that loneliness, and like watching your friends walk through relationships, even though they might not even be ready, and you look at them and you're like, surely I'm more ready than you. I don't know why.
You don't want it.
That's just like the grossness of my heart sometimes. But
I feel that grossness.
yeah, that's real. But I think there's a really great verse in Psalm 61, and it's, from the ends of the earth I call to you. I call as my heart grows faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the foe. And when I was reading this, I thought,
how true of a picture, like leading me to the rock that is higher than I, it helps me not to settle for lesser loves. And so each time I get to that rock, I'm continuously focusing my mind and like allowing myself to pray, okay, God, lead me to the rock. Lead me to the next higher rock, and continue to let me go, because his love like covers a wide and really deep range, but we only see this much. And so when we only see this much, this is how much we think we're going to get from somebody else, just like a man in our lives. And so we take that and run with it, when God's love is explained as like vast and deep and wide and high. And so he has somebody for us that is going to replicate God's love. It's just allowing like yourself to really pray those bold prayers and go, God, like I do want to fully trust you in the man that you have for me, and I'm going to let you lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And if that means waiting, then it's worth it. And it stinks right now because we look at waiting and we're like, no, it's not worth it, because right now I want to fulfill it. But when we get to that place, I think a lot of like just ladies that have told us all about singleness and marriage and all of the things have definitely confirmed that. Like when you do wait well and you get to that place and see God's fulfilled promise, you'll look back and you'll go, oh, that's so worth it.
Yeah.
So let's try not to be hasty, ladies.
All right, welcome back to Coffee Conversations. Now we're gonna have a time of Q&A where we answer some questions.
Yeah.
We're gonna answer some questions. And then people have about singleness. So we have a basket here. This one says, anger with God in singleness, how to walk through that.
I think whenever this happens to me a lot, like I have in my mind that like this is the plan that's gonna happen, and like I conjure up in my mind this like idea of like, okay, so this is what I want and these are my desires, and so this is the plan that's laying before me, so therefore it's obviously God's best and it's obviously what he wants. And
it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's logical, like here's the logical next step, like it all, this is the line.
And you get used to it.
Yeah, and then it doesn't happen, or like that guy starts dating someone else, or they don't ask you out, or they don't actually like you, or maybe they do like you, but they don't want to pursue anything with you, and worst. And and so I think in that, like, there have been a lot of moments where I've been like, okay, God, like, what the crap, like, this is where we were, like, we were on this path, and now somehow, like, my little, like, Bitmoji Abby just jumped over to this path, and I don't know how we got there. But anyway, I think in that, like, I don't know, like, I think one of the best pieces of advice that I've been given about this is that I need to be brutally honest with God about how I'm feeling. Like, whenever I'm, like, angry, I just get to, like, look at God and say, like, hey, I'm angry, I'm mad, and this is why, and...
It's hard to remember, like, he wants to hear our hearts, like, he wants us to be honest with him.
And it won't always change, but, like, in telling him that, like, you're bringing it into the light, and, like, then it doesn't have power over you. So, I don't know.
Oh, sure. Anger and singleness really is a real feeling, and there will be days where you're going to be like on cloud 9, and then the very next day you're like, I'm angry, like I'm so angry at this. And it's true, like it's going to God with like those brutally honest fears and questions and doubts, because he wants to carry it for us. But we don't always let him, because we think we're better at carrying it for some reason.
It's like you were even saying earlier today, just like it can feel like you're doing everything right, and then things just don't fall into place the way we think. But then it's like the verse that you're talking about, you know, don't settle for lesser love. Don't settle. Like he's got some plans that are so much greater than some. Exactly.
What is one thing on your non-negotiable list?
Ooh, Hannah makes lists.
I do make lists for everything. Me too. Okay, so I have a lengthy list, so I will not share it all. But the one is that he will dance outside at night, preferably. to a song by Nora Jones.
Nora Jones.
Anyways, casually we're gonna pool, preferably in the back of the Cracker Barrel parking lot, because that's my favorite spot. And I'm gonna say, can we stop and look at the stars? And then I will have Nora Jones playing on my
Already
radio.
in the queue, like you're already ready.
It's coming through the car door speakers.
Ooh! Man, she got fancy.
Thank you. It's been like a long thought process on it, and I know exactly how I'm gonna do it.
Oh, yeah. So that's your non-negotiable.
It's my non-negotiable. Okay, any for you? Any non-negotiables?
I guess mine is a little more exciting as Nora Jones, but I think one of the biggest things is like I want someone who like doesn't dim my fire, which sounds kind of like weird, but like I want someone who's gonna like cheer me on and like encourage me whenever I like, I don't know, like feel like the Lord's leading me to do something, like not someone who's like, no, like, you can't do that or whatever. So
I agree with that. I think that would be mine too, because I feel like I've been in relationships where it's kind of like this, like it's kind of like, oh, you're in school, you're doing great, but it's just as important to me as whatever the guy's doing. So you know, you just want someone who does like cheer you on and respect you and encourage you, and just chase Jesus with you.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I think we have time for one more question. This is the good one. All it says is, are you ready? Nervous poops.
It's not a question.
It's a statement, but it's a good question statement.
Singleness and nervous.
So, does anybody have any great stories about nervous poops?
I definitely have.
These are real.
I definitely have.
Take it away.
Yes.
Abby,
Take it away, Abby.
Gosh. Okay, this is an embarrassing story. But, so, okay, so with my ex-boyfriend, he was just taking his sweet time telling me that he had feelings for me, and I just was not about that.
No.
So I prayed about it a lot, and I felt like I was supposed to tell him that I had feelings for him, and then just, you know, put the ball in his court, and be like,
bounce pass.
yeah, like, hey, here you go.
A little ping pong.
Here you go, buddy. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, I need to talk to you about something, and I need to do it in person, so can you meet me at Starbucks at this time tomorrow? And he was like,
I'm sweating for that.
I'm so nervous. And he was like, yeah, sure. And I 100% was like, he's going to say no, he's going to think I'm an idiot and going to say no. But he was like, yeah, totally, I'll be there. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got to Starbucks, and I got there like 20 minutes early.
Give yourself a pep talk.
Yeah, well, it wasn't for the pep talk. It was literally because I had to poop so bad.
We wish it was for the pep talk.
Yes!
That mommy gotta go.
But do you guys do that? Like I do that for tests.
Do you guys do that? Do you guys get there early to on time for your nervous poops?
Like, do you, like, even, I know, this is true, I'm gonna fall down. But like, even for like tests or like whenever I have to like give a speech or something like that, like I don't get butterflies in my stomach, like I don't even get nervous whenever I stand up to do it, like I just have to poop, like always. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get there early and I'm gonna go poop, and I did. And then we sat down at the table and he tried to make small talk.
No boy, we got.
But I had already got taken care of my nervous poops. So I was like, no, okay, I can't do this. This is what we came here to talk about. And then we talked about
Lay it all out there.
Yeah, you are a cut to the point kind of person.
I am a cut to the point
Yeah.
person. Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good place to start for now. But we would love to hear some of your guys' questions about singleness. So if you have any questions that you want the three of us to tackle in our lovely humor.
Expert.
Yeah, woo! Just drop them in the comments below. But other than that, it was great having coffee conversations with you guys today. Bye.
Bye, everyone.